Sings your name. Last week shut it down when I bad boy chillers. I get the girls with lip fillers, got drink. Light is shining on my way, chasing every night away. Step by step, I hear you call. With your hand, I will not fall. When the darkness tries to stay, your love breaks the fear away. Hope is rising, faith will sing. I am safe beneath your wings. Lights of heaven lead me on through the night until the dawn. Every shadow fades away. Your bright love will always stay. Light of heaven shines so true. Every heartbeat runs to you. Guide my steps and let me say, you are with me every day. Through the valleys, through the
Hello, Steven. Welcome.
Your strong presence is my life. Every moment filled with grace. In your love, I see your face.
Kevin. No, Kevin.
Every promise keeps
Welcome.
me near.
In the between.
Every whisper calms my fear.
Jean Brooks.
You're the anchor for my soul. In your truth, I'm made whole. Light of heaven, lead me on through the night until the dawn. Every shadow fades away. Your bright love will always stay. Light of heaven shines so true. Every heartbeat runs to you. Guide my steps and let me say, you are with me every day. Shine.
So, as you can tell, the background is a little bit different. Outside is too cold for me, even though I have heat, still cold. So I decided to move it inside my room. So it's not that, you know what I mean? The background doesn't look as presentable as it should be. But I decided to move it inside because I'm telling you, man, it's freezing. It's freezing. So I decided to move it inside. Welcome, Emmanuel. Um, all right, so I'm live on both both channels. So I'm live on TikTok, and I'm also live on my YouTube channel. And the reason why um, I decided to do it on both tonight is because you probably want to stick around, because some of you might be asking the same question a long time ago. Some of you did not know, and some will know tonight. Um, the topic is a very interesting and personal topic that I'll be discussing tonight. Um, very, very personal, but I think it's time for me to share. Not everything tonight, not everything tonight. It will be done in increments. So you want to make sure that you check out the video on on YouTube if you miss it, if you miss any of my conversation that I'll be having with you guys. Um, and it's very personal, but we will be having that discussion. So you might want to just stick around and invite a friend to join. It's very personal, again, a very personal information that I want to share with you, my audience. And yeah, it has been many, many years, and people have been asking me a lot of questions, a lot of questions, a lot of questions. And so tonight I have decided that I am going to share just a tidbits. And then as I go along, I give some more. As I go along, I give some more. Because the story is long, and I won't tell you all of it in one go around. Okay? So invite a friend. If they're following me on YouTube, they can log on to YouTube and they will be able to see me live on YouTube as well. They will subscribe and like and share, give me thumbs up, all that type of stuff. All right. So I will have that conversation. Again, Happy New Year. If I haven't said that before, Happy New Year's to all of you. We live to see the beginning of another year, and we wish you all the best for this coming year, that all your dreams will come true, that you'll be successful this year more than last year. This year will be a better year, that you'll be more kind to people, that you'll be more giving and not just expecting to receive. You must also be a giver. That's where the blessing is, in your giving. All right, so let's give it another 5 more minutes, another 5 more. You want to stick around because it's a personal information I'm sharing. You want to stick around. I know some of you knows you want to know what it is. Fill my soul with endless light. Glory rising, hope is near. You are here. You are here. Light of heaven, lead me on. Oh, through the night until the dawn. Every shadow fades away. Don't fade. Your bright love will always stay. Light of heaven shines so true. Light of heaven shines so true. Every heartbeat runs to you. Every heartbeat runs to you. Guide my steps and let me say that you are with me every day. Yeah. Grace that gathers us today, breaking walls and lights the way. In your love we stand as one. Welcome, Kinsley.
Chains are falling, hearts are free. Bound together, you and me. Hope eternal peace will reign. In your name, we rise again. Hey. Grace unites us strong and true. Every breath belongs to you. Hand in hand, we lift your name forevermore. You stay the same. Grace unites us, hearts ablaze. Every voice declares your praise. In your love, we all belong together, rising strong. Hey! No one breaks this holy bond. In your power we are strong. Wounded lives are healed, restored by the mercy of the Lord. Sing it loud and don't be shy. Grace is lifting us so high. Every nation, every tongue joins the anthem, joins the song.
Don't forget to share, guys. In 2 minutes, I'll be sharing some personal information.
Every breath belongs to you. Hand in hand, we lift your name forevermore. You stay the same. Grace unites us, hearts ablaze. Every voice declares your praise. In your love, we all belong together, rising strong. Shout it out, His love will reign, breaking through the darkest chains. Heaven's power fills this place. We are one in boundless grace. Grace unites us strong and true. Every breath belongs to you. Hand in hand, we lift your name forevermore. You stay the same. Grace unites us, hearts ablaze. Every voice declares your praise. In your love, we all belong together, rising strong.
Tell a friend, guys. Tell a friend. All right. So again, thank you guys for for joining. Thank you for sticking around. And I am sure you guys are wondering what is it that I'm going to be talking about? What is it that is so personal that you want to share and all of that? All right. So for those of you who know me, I'm not sure who is on here who know me, right? You would have known that um, and I think if you have known by now, if you haven't known me before in person or maybe personally or so, you would have known about me after a while if you've been on this channel back to back or something. Because I've talked about my Olympic experiences um, and that I've competed in the Olympics twice in the Olympics and that I've won a medal, hence the Olympics flag that I tried to put up behind me with the Jamaica flag, all of that right here, right? And I have my medal right here. I can show you, I plan to show you guys one day, but maybe not today, right? Um, so, so when I was in college, I um, I had a son, right? I had a son when I was in college, and we used to live together. We we lived together. Um, over a period of time, things didn't work out. So, and I was employed by the university, so I had access to living on in campus housing. So I take the opportunity and move out, right? And live not far from where my son was living. He would spend time um, with me and take him to the daycare and all that good stuff, right? But what has happened is that things gotten, uh, I would say, a little bit on the rough side, right? Things got a little bit on the rough side. So I've decided that the best thing for me to do is to really separate myself as much as I should, right? And so what happened is, again, I'm not going to be giving you all the stories in one because it's a long story, but just know that you get enough to understand where I'm coming from, right? All right. So the the word on the street for many years was that I was not supporting my child, right? I wasn't taking care of him. Um, the mom alone had to support the child. The mom um, is the one who, taking care of all the bills and all that type of stuff. So um, I had opportunities many times to rebut that conversation, but I didn't, right? Because I know it's not true, right? So my son, I used to talk to him all the time. I call him, we'll have conversation. Um, Sometimes the mom tell him to hang up the phone. Sometimes she hang it up herself, and to the point where my son started getting really disgusted, so to speak, of me. Right? No, this is a boy that I grew up with because we were living together, right? So it's not like he don't know who I am. He doesn't. It's not like he only heard about me or maybe saw a picture of me and say we grew up together. I was there when he was born, right? So eventually he started to get bitter, um, and so over a period of time, I won't talk about the court part of it because I had to take the mom to court and all that. I'll talk about that another time. But the part I want to talk about is what people kept saying is why is it that I wasn't, why is it that I don't come forward and talk my side of the story? And for years, I did not, right? And so I decided that I'm not going to talk about it until the right time. And so what happened was my son become a track star, right? He he became a track star, um, and again, he didn't want to do track because his mom did it and I did it, and he didn't want to do that. You know how kids are; they want to do their own thing. But eventually, he ended up doing track again. Yes, sorry, he ended up reverting to doing track. But he was so good at track and field. He was very good at basketball. He was very good at soccer. I believe he could have gotten scholarship in all those events. He did so well in track in high school. He was like the number one high jumper, number one long jumper over there in Alabama. He got a lot of scholarship offers and Division 1 school, and um, so he went to a Division 1 school. And while he was at the Division 1 school, he was the first athlete to ever won the NCAA Division 1 high jump high jump and long jump indoor and outdoor for 6 consecutive times. Yeah, 6 consecutive times. All right. So when he did that, his last year, he became a professional athlete. he became a professional athlete. He signed a contract, and he didn't take his last year to compete for the university. Instead, he take that off and went professional. All right. So um, when he so when he left home and went to college, I said, okay, he's now a grown man. Now I can try to communicate with him where he's no longer at home, and we might be able to have a conversation, right? So what I did was since I wrote a book, I decided I'm going to write him a letter. So I wrote him a letter, did not mention the mom's name, did not have anything bad to say. Sorry, I was just him and I send the letter with a book, with one of my book, and I sent it directly to the athletic director's office, and so that he could get it. Well, he did get it, and when he got it, he was going to throw it into the trash. And before he did that, he called his mom, and his mom told him not to do that, but he should not open the package. Okay. Then the long story of it is that he went and changed his name. Yeah. That's why I told her that this story tonight is a very personal story. Um, yeah, he went and changed his name. And when I heard, I was devastated. I was extremely devastated because I know that was not a good thing. I know that was not a good thing. And I personally know that people who know him or know the mother told the mother to tell him not to do it. But he did. He went and he changed his last name. And so he changed his last name. And if you look on the website, if you look on the school history, if you look on newspaper articles, if you look into interviews, you will find though that Blake is there, his first name, and then Blake is there, and then moving forward from that time, you will see his mom last name, and you will find article that says his name was Blake, no, his mom last name. And so what happened is um, he has to have a story because he's a professional athlete and the media knows me as a former Olympian bronze medalist. And they know him before he changes his name. So he know that he has to have a story for when they are interviewing him so that he can stay consistent, right? So I just sat back watching all of what was going on, watching some of the interviews. They were very, very cautious in the questions around the name. Not sure why. So they're very, very cautious, but there were some people who were able to ask him the question. And he would give the story that, well, my mom is the one who take care of me, so I believe that I should have her name. Yeah. Okay. So you might be asking, well, how could they say you didn't take care of him? There has to be a reason why they say that. right? All right. So I want to tell you so that you can draw your own conclusion, right? I sent checks because when I realized what was taking place, I was out of the state at that time. I wasn't living in the state. I was out of the state at that time, and I used to send checks. Before I didn't used to send checks, but then I realized what was happening. I said I better start keep my records. So I started to buy money order from the post office, make sure I have my part of it, and then send that part of it. And I started to keep all my receipts, right? I remember sending a check directly to the nanny who used to take care of our son when we were working, studying full time and running track. The nanny did not charge us a dime. And that's a whole other story because she even stopped him from talking to her. All right. But back to the checks. I sent a check to the nanny to personally hand it to her. She took it to her house, knocked on the door. She opened the door. She handed her the check. She handed it back to her and said she don't want it. Again, you are going to draw your own conclusion. So I send checks. I keep my records. I have my big folder here. I send check, physical check, and it was given back to her. She mailed it back to me, right? My wages was garnished. So how was I not paying child support? No, you answer that question for me, my social media family. You answer that question for me. How is it that my pay check was garnished, right? And I sent physical check and it was sent back. I sent post office checks, checks that I personally have my own copy. Money orders that I personally have my own copies. So how was I not paying child support? How was it that I wasn't paying child support? Help me understand this because I couldn't understand it. Still don't understand it. And so the people that she talks to, they believe every word that she says. Every word. And for years, they have not heard my side of the story because I kept quiet. And I kept quiet a lot of times to protect him, not her, to protect him. I stayed quiet for many years, and people ask me, why don't I come out and say something? And I said, no. So remember, I said that he did so well in high school and then he did so well in college. So he made it to the Olympics. He made his first Olympics. And then he made his second Olympics. But I want to tell you guys that God have a sense of humor. God have a sense of humor. Because one night I went to bed and around 3:30, 4 o'clock, I got up to use the restroom. And I look straight into the mirror when I walk into the bathroom. And the Lord spoke to me. And this is what he says. He said, is anything too hard for me? The battle is not yours. The battle is mine. And I stood there in the bathroom, looking in the mirror, and started smiling and said, God, why? Why you have to mess me up like this? Why? Why you have to mess me up like this? Because you see, I have already had it planned out what I'm going to do. Because you see, if he's no longer my child, then you are going to have to pay me all the child support that I have paid before, defamation of character, right? Pain and suffering. That was what I had planned to do. And God said to me, is anything too hard for me? The battle is not yours. The battle is mine. Mess me up. Mess me up. And I listened. I didn't take her to court for that. I let it go. But I want to show you something that he probably don't even recognize, or people don't even recognize it. You see, when I made my first Olympic team in 1992, I was 22 years old. I was 22 years old when I made my first Olympic team. When he made his first Olympic team, he was 21, but COVID came. COVID came and he turned 22. Yeah, COVID came and he turned 22. When I made my first Olympic Games, I competed in two events, the 400 meters and the 4x4 relay. When he made his first Olympic Games, he competed in two events, the long jump and the high jump. I didn't win a medal and he didn't win a medal. I competed in two world championships and I won a silver medal. He competed in two world championships and he won a silver medal. Then I competed in the next Olympics in one event, and he competed in his next Olympics in one event. The difference is I won a medal in my second Olympics, and he did not win a medal in his second Olympics. Yeah. So I just wanted to share that because I believe that, people are still holding me hostage. You know what I mean? People are still holding me hostage. I believe they are. And that's okay because I know the truth, right? But one thing I can tell you is that he will never jump 8 feet in the high jump until he free himself. Because if he jump 8 feet, it's not 8-1. And if he jump 8-1, it's not 8-2. So I'm going to be here like the prodigal son, like the prodigal son that comes home with my arms open. Yeah. So I used to follow him on Instagram. And I used to, watch his performances and so because of me and because of people that I am close and friend with. people who never used to watch high jump and long jump become very interested in watching him jump, right? And they will text me. I don't have to ask anyone any information about him. Any track meet he goes to, somebody there know me. Yeah, somebody at the track meet knows me. Don't have to ask any question. And they'll tell me what's going on. So when I watched him jump, I had a problem. I had a big problem. But him don't talk to me. But he knows that I'm following him. So I started to write him little messages, little private messages. No, whether he reads them or not, I don't know. I just felt like he probably wasn't reading them. Um, so I will write them how proud I am of him, even though he changed his name. How proud I am of him and keep up the good work and blase, 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 and all that good stuff. I'll tell him, you know, edify him and build him up on him because every parents want their kids to do better than them, right? And so, and I'm sure that is his goal too. I'm sure there's nowhere in his head he's not wanting to do better than I am, right? Um, and so I would encourage him behind the scene, not knowing if he's reading it or not. And so I've decided that I'm going to write on his page because I did not like his performance. Didn't like his performances. I believe that he had outgrown his current coach at the time. And he needs someone who he needs someone who can see and who is going to tell him. Right? And who best to tell him? His father. Yeah. I told him. I went on the page. Before I did that, I called my daughter and I let her know. I said, this is what I'm going to do. He said, oh, Dad, you know he's going to block you. I said, sweetheart, I don't care. But I have to plant the seed. So I went on his page and I wrote on there how proud I am of him. Must keep up the good work. And that he must also remember that what he's doing is his job. It's a job. And the world is watching him and his performances. And that pretty much you get paid based on your, you keep your contract based on how well you perform over the years. So, I encourage him and then I hit him. I said, but you need to get rid of your coach. I said, you need to get rid of him. He cannot help you any further. He has done his job. He have helped you to plateau where you are. And now you need to move from that level to the next level. And you need to find somebody else who can take you there. Well, needless to say, he blocked me. I mean, hint, hint, you know, it's not like I didn't know it was coming. Yeah, he blocked me. He blocked me. But the same thing I told him to do, it wasn't long after, maybe another, maybe a year or two after that. See, he had to leave. He had to fire his coach. you imagine if he had done that? Maybe when I mention it, we don't know. We don't know what the outcome would have been. Maybe he would have performed better. Maybe we don't know, right? But I must add that I see a difference in his jumping. I see some changes. But when you change coaches, it takes a while for you to get acclimated, for you to get accustomed to the new level of teaching, the new level of coaching, right? It takes a little while, right? And especially in those technical events, it could take up to 2 years, right, before you see really full changes. But to be honest with you, and I'm going to say this publicly, okay, so as far as I know, from what I have read and what I have known, is that he could have gotten a scholarship for pretty much a lot of events, like the 110 hurdles, the 200 meters, the 300 hurdles, um, the long jump, the high jump. I believe his the only event that he might not or probably would not have gotten a full scholarship for would have been, hi, how are you? Um, would have been the 400 meters, because the 400 meters, for those of you who know, is not a joke event. It's an event that you have to come prepare. It's a lot of work. Um, well, you should have been up here. Then you'd have said something different. Yeah. So sorry. Because of that, he 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 stick with the high jump and the long jump. But if I was in his life, I would have I would have skewed him. I would have skewed him or steer him to the 100, 110 hurdles. And if he wanted to stay in the jumps, I would probably move him away from the high jump and let him stay focused on the long jump. I just feel like that event probably would have um, maybe sufficed or be a better event for him. But doing two jumps is not the smartest thing to do. And I just don't understand the people that are around him. What are their purpose? You see what I'm saying? What are the people around him? What are they doing? Is it about the money, or is it about long-term growth? What is it? It seems to me that it's about what they can get. And I hope that somebody will watch this video and somebody will tell him that he has to be smart. Track and field is no joke. He has to smart up himself. And if he need to get rid of people that are around him, he gonna have to get rid of them, just like how he did his coach. Yeah. 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 So that is just a piece of the story. That is just a piece of the story. Right? And I'm going to give a recap because I saw my King just join and my sister just joined. You guys miss it. Tonight is a personal story I'm telling. You know what I mean? I'm telling a personal story, but I'm just going to give you a recap. Right? First of all, and the recap is going to be fast, so you might want to listen up. So I'm talking about, for decades, people has been asking me, why is it that I don't come out and tell my part of the story about my son, right? Who changed his last name, and I didn't because I was waiting for the right time, right? I didn't make anyone pressure me um, to say what they want me to say, right? I speak on my own time and my own terms. So that's what the personal conversation is about. Um, and I said you can draw your own conclusion because people were saying that I wasn't paying child support, I wasn't taking care of my kid, and all that type of thing. But like I said before, is that I have my folder this tall, right? That I did take to court, which I will talk about some other time, right? I sent check to the nanny who used to take care of him, who took it to her personally, and she gave it back to her, and she mailed it back to me. Okay, and then my wage, my salary was garnished. My salary was garnished. That means he get paid before I get paid. So how is it that I wasn't paying child support? Again, you draw your own conclusion because I guess I don't understand this. You understand? Yeah. How is that possible? How can you get paid before me and I don't pay child support? Just don't make sense. So, but I know that he's going to regret it. I know that if he probably is regretting it right now. Um, he was, the thing, the bottom line is that to tell you that it didn't hurt, to tell you that it didn't hurt, or it still doesn't hurt, I would be lying. That is something you would encourage a child not to do. The Bible says, honor your mother and your father, that your days may be long. That's what it says. Honor your mother and your father, or honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long. And like I said before, if he jumps 8 feet and break the world record, whatever the world record is, it is not 8-1. Until he free himself, he will not jump at his best. Yes, so that's a recap. Well, the other part of it is that I made my first Olympic Games when I was 22 years old. And I competed in 2 events and I did not win a medal. I competed in 2 world championships and I won a silver medal. And then I competed at the next Olympics and I won a medal. And I only competed in 1 event. You see, what he doesn't know is that he's following in my footsteps. He made his first Olympic Games at age 21, but COVID came and they pushed the Olympics to the following year. So he turned 22. And then he competed at that same Olympics in 2 events. He did not win a medal, just like me. And then he competed in 2 world championships and he won a silver medal, just like me. and he competed at his next Olympics in one event. The difference is he didn't win a medal, but I did. So the footstep in the sand, he's walking in them, don't even realize it. Yeah. But I still love him. Still love him. Still want him to do the best that he can do. Still right here waiting patiently when he's ready to talk. I'll be right here. But he needs to be careful of the people that he has around him. If they're all about money, he needs to get rid of them. If they don't care about his well-being, he needs to get rid of them. Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of those people that is around him, all they care about is how much money they can make. They don't care about his well-being. And also transitioning from track and field to real life after track. So you need all of those type of support. You need that type of support system around him. Yeah. Yes, guys. So that's the story for tonight. I just feel like I needed to just come out and share that personal information with you guys. Um, yeah, so refreshing to get it off. Yeah, it's very refreshing. So listen up.
Love unending, vast and wide, like an ocean, like the sky. Every step you walk with me, guiding through eternity. When the night surrounds my soul, still your mercy makes me whole. Every shadow fades away, your great love will always stay. Love beyond all measure fills my heart with treasure, stronger than the deepest pain. Your embrace will still remain.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys, for tonight. You know, like I was saying, like I said before, and for those of you who are just joining, is that God have a way of doing things, and I said earlier, and some of you weren't here to hear, but just let me just say that before I close out, is that I got up in one night way back many years. Um, of course, I was hurt, upset, angry. I got up to use the restroom around 3:30, and I walk into the bathroom and look straight into the mirror, and I hear the Lord said, He said, "Is anything too hard for me?" And then He said, "The battle is not yours, the battle is mine." And I just stood there and looked in the mirror and started smiling. And I said, God, why? I mean, I have everything all planned and chiseled out. I have it all planned and chiseled out. And God just come and just put a wrench in it. Yeah. He just came and said, "It is not yours. The battle is mine." Why can't it be mine? Yeah, why can't it be mine? Because you see, I had already planned it out. I would have, I'm planning that I'm going to sue her for defamation of character, right? I plan that I'm going to sue her for every penny that I have supported her as child support. And then I plan that um, I'm going to sue her for pain and suffering. And God said, the battle is not yours. The battle is mine. And is anything too hard for me? Listen to me now, man. Don't let nobody tell you that God is not real. God is real. God is real. I have it chiseled out. Because if he doesn't have my name, it means that he's not my son. That's it. So anyway, guys, have a great night. Thank you for listening. And you know, you guys are pretty quiet. You guys didn't send a message. You guys didn't say anything. But maybe next time. Happy New Year. Enjoy. Have a great night, and we'll catch up again uh, tomorrow. Tomorrow, God's willing.